don't know, Jorge. I feel like I'm just wearing chapstick and mascara. I'm really too old for... Hey, hi, it's me, Wilma Fingerdoo, with the Fingerdoo review of the aftermath of Season 14's Snatch Game, aka Episode 11. But before we get started, well, I've got some people to thank, mostly tipper-doos. First off, Michael Mentor, who caught me on the panel 2 weeks ago. Thanks, Michael. I'm so glad you caught that. For those of you who haven't seen it, I'll put a link either up here or down below in the description box. Either way, check it out. It was a hoot and a half, I'm just saying. I'd also like to thank Kevin Harrigan, who spoiled me this week, I'm so glad to say. I'm also glad you enjoy spending time with me, Kevin. Seriously, you come on back anytime, because, well, I'm always here, I'm just saying. Elaine Alden also dropped by to say I always make her smile, and I'm so glad to hear it, Elaine. Thank you so much. And, as always, well, I couldn't thank my tipper-doos without including my tipper-doo boyfriend, Vito. Love you, Vito. Seriously. I also want to welcome John Costello, aka Rex Trek, to the Fingerdoo family on Patreon. If you're a regular commenter on my videos, you'll recognize Rex Trek as he always numbers his first comment. He's either first, well, he hasn't been first in a little while, third, 23rd, like that there. Feel free to say hi to him next time you're commenting, especially if you get there before him. Sometimes he's so lazy. If you'd like to join the Fingerdoo family on Patreon or become a tipper-doo, those links are down below in the description box. Shut your face. I also want to send a big old thank you out to Chris, I've blocked my address there, who sent me this fabulous card. And the thing that I love about it is it's filled with scratchers. I love me a scratcher. Thank you, Chris. He also sent me a Sleepy Hollow collector card. And I have to tell you, the thing I love about this is there's a little swatch of fabric here. They claim it's from this actor who is Nicholas Gonzalez from his wardrobe. So I'm just going to believe it. And I think that's just adorable. I used to do wardrobe, so something like that just tickles me. I'm so serious. Thank you so much, Chris. You're a doll. Finally, well, I got a question for y'all. I got sent this package in the mail. I got it actually the other day, and I don't know who it's from. It's got a silicone beauty blender in it. It's got, oh, one of these paddle brushes. I have never used one of these before. I have never used one. I'm excited to give it a try. Also in here is, well, this fabulous little pouch that has a pendant in it, a little silver pendant, and the pendant says, "The love between grandma and granddaughter is forever." I don't mind being someone's grandma. I just didn't expect to be it this week. I'm just going to say. There's also a little eyeshadow palette from Faux Color, which is gorgeous, by the way. And finally, this is the thing that intrigues me the most. This black palette. There's no marking on it whatsoever. I mean, on the back, there's a list of ingredients, but even when you pull the palette out of the packaging, give me a second here, I'm wearing nails, God damn it. There's no marking on this palette whatsoever. And this palette is very intriguing because it looks like it's all lipsticks and blushes. I don't know. I'm a little suspect to try it because A, I don't know who sent this to me, and B, I don't know where this is from. So if you're the person that sent me this lovely package through Canada Post, let me know. You can either leave me a message down below or you can email me directly at wilmafingerdoo, SRSLY@gmail.com. Now, Jorge, drink me! I'm still not bored of these yet. A pink pucker. Get yourself a little blender, throw in some tequila, some ice, some pink lemonade, and it's a party in your mouth. Yummo. Okay, so let's get to it. Of course, there was no one to say goodbye to this week again. Seriously. How are we ever going to reach the end of this long and winding road if production doesn't start thinning out this herd? Seriously. But the fact that everyone was up for elimination except Deja was freaking everyone out. Especially Deja, who couldn't have picked a better challenge to win. I mean, if she was only going to win one challenge, this was the one to win. I'm so serious. Of course, Tensions were high this week, as you could imagine. Point of fact, Jasmine finally complained about Daya's constant verbal assaults. What put her over the edge this week? Well, Daya's repeated use of the phrase no offense. I get it. I've been saying it for years. When someone says no offense, they're about to be offensive. So brace yourself or start working on a scathing rebuttal. Seriously. Also, scathing rebuttal was my drag queen name in high school. The next day, the queens immediately started getting ready for the lip sync smackdown, and, well, most were worried. Well, everyone except the season's dancing queens, Georges and Jasmine. Deja's only stress was wondering if she'd get some popcorn to enjoy while she was watching the smackdown. Now I'm hungry. Do we have popcorn? It became clear as the queens prettied up that there were some thoughts about strategy. Willow was worried about getting a club song to lip sync to because, well, she's not that queen. Being a park and bark queen, Angie was hoping for a ballad, but she was willing to tear it up if she needed to win a lip sync. Good for Angie. Daya distracted herself by stirring Bosco's pot by calling her out on being nervous. Bosco did nothing to contradict her. She was too nervous to engage and, well, the other queens could tell. At least Daya had the wherewithal to admit that she was worried about going up against either Jasmine or Georges and, well, Jasmine was loving that Daya was obviously worried. Of course she was. To get further under Daya's skin, Jasmine called her out on her no offense catchphrase, which Daya handled really well. Daya knew Jasmine was trying to get under her skin, but what amazed me was that she was letting her. Now that's stress. Seriously. Georges seemed pretty calm, mostly because she's used to people being afraid to lip sync against her. Personally, what I think they're most afraid of, as Deja pointed out, is her signature move. A little something Georges calls punching the ghost. Personally, I like that move because punching the ghost was also the name of my Fringe play. And then, because this episode was all about lip syncing, it was time for the runway. I just hated Rue's outfit. There was way too much fun for happening around her neckline. I wish the two bits going up on her shoulder hadn't been there because it looked like she was strapped into one of those slingshot rides people keep passing out on. Just me? Michelle looked somber in black. Carson and Ross looked ready for a throwdown of epic proportions as well. And then the queens hit the stage. Because Deja was safe, she got to leave the stage and watch the proceedings on a sofa in the Untucked Lounge. Did anyone else feel like Deja was wearing an outfit she had originally earmarked for a quick drag or something? Because I hated it, but I bet she was pleased that she didn't waste nicer just to sit there and stare. What, I'm not staring. I have to say, I like this format. Two queens lip synced and the winner was safe? Perfect. But I will say this, although the first queen to lip sync is a random pick, I would rather have her competitor be chosen randomly too. Mostly because we get to see Calyx, aka Calypso Kwan, some more. If they did. Oh. Speaking of, how do we all feel about the latest member of the pit crew? Even though I've missed Bruno and Bryce these past few weeks, I think Calyx is just yummy. And if you want to see more, I've got a link to his Instagram in my description box. Sounds dirty. I wish it was. With all the queen's initials on red balls, Calyx gave the drum a spin and picked Jasmine's ball first. I have to say, I was so impressed that she picked Diabetti as her opponent. No offense. Did you see what I did there? Needless to say, Daya was not happy. To even things out, Diabetti got to pick the song. She smartly chose Aretha Franklin's Respect because it's not a dancey song, and she hoped it would trip Jasmine up. And she was right. Jasmine overdanced it, and Daya won the first lip sync. Here's to Daya. Of course, we're never going to hear the end of it. No offense. Since the video feed that Deja was watching cut out before Rue announced the winner, she was thrilled to see it was Daya who walked through the workroom doors to join her on the couch. I guess she doesn't like Jasmine. Next, Calyx picked Willow's ball. Lucky. To be honest, Willow would have preferred to be picked by another queen so she could pick the song, which I totally understand. But I have to admit, that I was surprised that Willow picked Bosco, but not as surprised as Bosco was. Willow said she picked Bosco because she felt she wouldn't pick an overtly dancey song, which Bosco didn't. She picked Never Too Much by Luther Vandross, which was the song Willow wanted in the first place. Seriously. Even though Bosco said Never Too Much was her go-to karaoke number, I feel she went a little too big with her dance moves. Willow, on the other hand, kept it cute and fun while subtly serving face. So I wasn't surprised that Willow won this lip sync. Neither was Willow, who pointed out that Willow don't bark, Willow don't hiss, Willow just do. Wonder if she has that embroidered on a pillow. Bosco, on the other hand, was not pleased, bless. Back in the Untucked Lounge, Deja and Daya were thrilled that Willow walked through the workroom doors because, well, their video feed of the SmackDown cut out before Ru announced the winner. Cheeky. Ru told the last three queens, Angie, Georges, and Lady Camden, that they were going to do a three-way lip sync, but she blamed it on the fickle finger of fate. And if you don't know what that is, we can't be friends. Calix still pulled the ball to see who got to pick the song. It was Georges, and she picked Radio by Beyonce. Of course she did. I have no idea why that surprised the Safe Queens. Seriously. This was a fun lip sync to watch. Not only did all three queens bring it, but they also kept jockeying for center stage so the judges could see them, which gave them all a moment to shine. My only wish is that LC had done a death drop in succession of the other two. Not that it hurt her performance. Michelle must have been impressed because she was getting memories of seduction from those three queens. Always the good Judy, Ru agreed except for the fact that seduction wasn't capable of doing anything near what those queens did. As good as everyone did, it was no surprise that Georges won. That left Angie and LC in the bottom with Bosco and Jasmine. I don't want to call them losers. Wait, did I just pull a Jimbo? Lady Camden's was the next ball Calix pulled, and she picked Bosco to lip sync against her, much to Bosco's chagrin. Bosco picked Don't Let Go by En Vogue in the hopes of keeping LC's dancey instincts at bay. Well played, Bosco, but it didn't work out that way. Lady Camden was worried about looking like a big pink skunk for this R&B ballad, which is probably what helped her focus on the song. To be honest, both queens killed this one. I have to admit, Bosco's body is hypnotic to watch, but LC owned this song. She took her time and sexed up her performance in a way I wasn't expecting. She really did a terrific job. So when it was all said and done, I wasn't surprised that Lady Camden won. I'm also glad that she did, but my heart just broke for Bosco, bless. Needless to say, the Safe Queens were thrilled that it was LC who walked through the workroom doors. She was so emotional. Well, she needed a hug. She's lucky that's all she got from Daya, who admitted that, well, she was a little turned on by Camden's performance. Seriously. Then it was time for Angeria and Jasmine to lip sync to My Love Don't Cost a Thing by J-Lo. I have to say, Deja is right. Angie just has a presence that demands you watch her, but Jasmine sure didn't make it easy. I was really impressed that Daya admitted that she was impressed with Jasmine's lip sync, but when it was all said and done, Angie was the winner. The Safe Queens were thrilled, but none more than Willow, bless her heart. She didn't want to lose her friend. So it all came down to Bosco and Jasmine, which I think was right because they were also two of the worst of the Snatch Game, in my opinion. They had to lip sync to Swept Away by Diana Ross. God, I can't remember the last time I heard that song. It's so much fun. Neither of these queens held back, but there was something extra about Bosco's performance. Maybe it was her stripper moves, or maybe it was the sheer desperation of not wanting to sashay away, but I just could not take my eyes off her. So when the final song was done and the music stopped, I wasn't surprised that it was Bosco who won. Finally. Needless to say, Bosco was relieved and emotional, bless her heart. There was only one thing left to do, opening Jasmine's chocolate bar. Was it gold? No. So finally we had an elimination on RuPaul's Drag Race after 3 weeks. I'm surprised Jasmine didn't win a lip sync, but since I didn't think she was going to make top 4, I'm not too sad about it, no offense. Oops. So, what do you think? Did the right queen go home? Who were you thinking would be eliminated? Who were you hoping would be eliminated? All we can do at this point is tune into RuPaul's Drag Race next week to see how it all plays out. Until then, let me know what you think about this episode in the comments down below. While you're down there, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and please feel free to share this video with anyone you think is as big of a Drag Race fan as we are. Until next week, miss me! Seriously, Jorge. I'm sorry Jasmine went. I think she's a sweetheart. There's not a bad bone in that girl's body. I thought it was so horrible watching Bosco keep getting out lip-synced by people. I mean, if there was ever a wake-up call for a performer, that has to be it, because I think Bosco's a strong performer, but I also think she's one of those performers that a lot of people look up to. So to see her fail, or for her to experience failing, I'll bet you that doesn't happen every other day. The one thing I'll say about Bosco, though, God, is she ever mature. She has such a great attitude even when things aren't going her way. God bless her. I think she's going to give Angie a run for the money. I still think it's going to be between her, Angie, Willow, and I don't know, Deja and Daya are, I don't know. Oh God. I'll have to pick.